Hello, Marcus Lim here with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. Okay, so there's the image of the Last Ronin. Robert Rodriguez, right, famed director Robert Rodriguez says it's riveting from start to finish. And this is Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, right, the original creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the 80s. So this is like a reunion of sorts, right? 25 years in the making, apparently, based on an original outline by Kevin and Peter. And you can see here, right? That's from legendary TMNT co-creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And it says it's 3 decades in the making. Yeah, about right. Maybe 20, between 25, I guess say around 25 years in the making. And so this collects all the 5 prestige format issues. Right, it was done in 5 parts when it first came out in late 2020. Okay, and so yeah, it's pretty cool now to have this all in one hardcover collection. Right, and this is like critically acclaimed, right? This story, um, and I think the best thing about this story is it's pretty much standalone. As in, you don't really need to know too much about what's been going on in the comics, right? You just need the passing familiarity. So for me, for instance, right, all I know is the animated series from the 80s and 90s, and that's enough. So here's credits, layouts by Kevin Eastman, right? And so here's a quick introduction from Robert Rodriguez, the filmmaker. Alright, the new one, this is March 2022. And here we go. So issue 1. Issue 1 is where we sort of, lace out the whole scene, I guess. It's like the world, in the far future. It's the whole, is it New York, maybe? Like it's kind of walled in, right, by the Foot Clan. And so this lone turtle, and we don't actually know who it is, right, yet, because it's kind of like, it's like black, what do you call it, bandana. So, we can't really tell which turtle it is. Is it Donatello or Leonardo or Donatello or Michelangelo? It's sort of like a bit of a mystery in this first issue. It's pretty cool, right? Just figuring out like who it can possibly be, because he seems to be using all the weapons as well, like the bow. But eventually, we know at the end that it's actually Michelangelo, which is a bit of a surprise because he's usually the Joker of the group, which is why I guess it's not the obvious choice. Raphael, there's flashbacks. So throughout this series, what we find is we get flashbacks to find out what exactly happened to all the turtles. Like Raphael, for instance, right? He's kind of like the first to actually bite the bullet, you see. In this flashback, he was fighting, I think, Shredder's daughter, Karai. And sadly, he dies, you see. So one by one, the turtles go away. Along the way, we get like the daughter of April O'Neil and Casey Jones. April O'Neil's now much older. In terms of bad guys, we also get a new bad guy. Shredder's direct descendant, the grandson, I think. And yeah, we get lots of flashbacks. And so part 3 now. Right. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's very futuristic too because it's set in the future. I guess the closest comparison is, think Dark Knight Returns. Frank Miller's legendary Dark Knight Returns. And in fact, I think this is actually a homage to that story. Now here's where I think Splinter and Leonardo perish. right? And so now there's only Donatello left. As in like the mystery of how he died. There you go. The final battle with the last Ronin up against Shredder's descendant, Hiroto. I think that's his name. Along the way, I think it's a cool, again, homage to Dark Knight Returns, where Casey Jones' older sort of like becomes the apprentice of Michelangelo. Okay. Oh, actually, I think I was wrong with this now. So Splinter hasn't perished yet. I mean, in terms of flashbacks, him and Donatello were together. So Leonardo, we saw how he perished, but here we see Donatello and Donatello perish. All right. So ultimately, we come to the final battle. And I think what's cool is along the way, we see Michelangelo talking to the dead spirits in a way of his fallen brothers. And so, that's just one way to keep the banter going. But, I guess this is a grim story. It's not like a jokey story you're accustomed to from the cartoons. So there's Liquid Armor Shredder, or the, new Shredder, fighting with Michelangelo. And at the end, Michelangelo also perishes, right? And it's sort of like an emotional ending in a way, because he gets to see his brothers again in the afterlife along with Splinter and Casey Jones. But we do end with a note of hope, because it looks like the daughter of April O'Neil and Casey Jones is gonna, grow her own new, maybe clan of turtles. So now afterword, Kevin Eastman, okay? And here's some artwork by Kevin Eastman and other artists. This might be all the covers, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Alright, and that's it. So very cool. Right, as I was saying, yeah, critically acclaimed story of the last Ronin. I think the writer Tom Waltz, he did promise that there may be more coming in the Ronin verse. So look out for that. But this is where it starts, right? The last Ronin. So you haven't checked out yet the 5 issues. This is the perfect way to dive in right now. A homage to one of the greatest stories out there, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, and also stories like, say, Logan, Old Man Logan. The whole story of the loner hero in a far distant future. And in this case, he's out for revenge, right? To avenge his fallen brothers. All in all, really great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story. Do check it out, and please like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video.